they play the vital role. A particular area of this England, we have to use them. They play the vital role, important role in to format the modern English language with the help of the dialect. The later we can say that even the 1611 there was the first authorized translation of Bible. The first authorized translation of Bible from, you can say, Hebrew language. There was Bible was begun to be written in a XUnit, Hebrew. The original, just like of some of our ancient manuscripts you find out here, friend. They have to find out in the Pali, Prakrit, or we can say the Sanskrit. But now they change in a number of the regional or official Indian languages. In the same way, the Bible was before the 1611. Bible was in a, we can say that, Hebrew language. But it was in 1611 when the first was translated Bible into the, we can say that, local way, vernacular. Vernacular means Pradeshik, local vernacular language or dialect of English language. In 1611, the first authorized translated version of Bible was available in vernacular language. Vernacular means Pradeshik, Matrubhasha. Regional language के जेना माटे vernacular language in English language. And here there was also the number of the dialect used in the translation of the Bible. And in this way, dialect influence on the English language. Because later on in the, we can say that in the 16th century, Milton wrote Paradise Lost. And great epic, Paradise Lost and Paradise Re-Again. And the Milton, there are two great epics, successful epic of English literature written by a blind Milton, John Milton, Age of Milton or Puritanism. And he in the John Milton write down that Paradise Lost, here he can use, we can say, number of the religious, those are the words, dialect used in the Bible in his Paradise Lost and Paradise Re-Again. And Milton's one of the famous one of the famous sonnet, remember dear friend, on his blindness. I think that in paper 5 in semester 3 or 4 in appreciation I mentioned the on his blindness. Okay, and this bit by Milton also used the, in the 16th century, you can say that century, those dialect in the, we can say, the modern English literature. Later on, there was, we can use the word Caxton, Michael Caxton. He is the Michael Caxton is the first who invented the printing machine. He was there was also you have to find out the Gutenberg. I also, there was, here you have to mention, but here you have to search the Google, the name of the first printing machine invented by the Gutenberg. There was name also remembered, but in our that book they have to use the Michael. He was the first person who can printed the book. English literature, English literature. That was the Michael Caxton. And there was who invented the printing machine was the Gutenberg. Gutenberg is a person who invented the, I think the 4053, I think that year was, I have sometimes misled that. Okay, dear friends, and that was a Gutenberg. And second, here we have come to the topic. Michael Caxton was the first printer who can print it. Before that, there was no facility of printing. There was a manuscript. A person write down the books, and the other manuscriptor, they have Lehia, they write down the other copy of that work. But now after the invention of printing machine, so I have to that Caxton, they use that, I have to read about it. Caxton, the pioneer English pensioner, used the best and most suitable kind of English spoken in and around London. He is the first person who can use those are spoken language. They speak in London city and surrounding area of London, and that language he can use in written form and that use in a printed form by the Caxton. Caxton. It was not till Elizabethan time. Elizabethan means Shakespearean age. That writers and speakers began use accepted English language for culture purpose. Dear friends, up to now, we can say that up to now in the English language in the Elizabethan time for the 15th century, the invention of the Caxton, and during that time, those are speaker of English, or those are the writer of English language. They can use English language particularly for their culture purpose. Culturally, they develop the language. They use it in a form of the written form. We can say the standard level, or the other side in the dialect form for the culture purpose. A number of provisional words had came into English from the dialect, and they are vivid and expressive and have become permanent part of English written and spoken language. During this time, we are saying 15th, 16th, or we can say that a time of the Caxton, 16th century. During that, a number of the provisional Pradeshik word, regional words, or we can say vernacular words, or in general we can simply say that the dialectical words, they become the parts and partial of English language during this period of time in a written and spoken form of English language. Each occupational group has its vocabulary. Each new science or industry develop its own mass of technical word. Some word pass from limited special vocabulary in a general use. Okay, these are you can easily understand. Each occasional group, occupational is Dandakiya group. If it was concerned with the drama, if someone is concerned with the industry, if someone is concerned with the, we can say any other field of the, we can trade and commerce, if someone in the markets, if someone connected with occupation or the farming, if other connected with the grocery, these are the other different occupational group. During this period of time, they develop their own vocabulary or their own dialect, and their dialect become the part of English language. Even that we can say that industrial revolution, and now that dear friend we have to learn the number of the in unit 4 paper 10 linguistic note, some of the word invented by the other writers or we can scholar to make the clear of the industrial use. The mix of the television, telepathy, telephone. You can use this kind of the word. The half of the word in Latin and Greek. These are the industrial words. And some word pass the limit, and these are the limited vocabulary. Gradually, dialect become the part of. During that 16th, 17th, or 19th century, there was different occupation were developed, industry were developed, and due to that, there are the number of the dialect. They have to use particular meaning for that, and they become the part of English language. In this way, the occupational vocabulary or occupational dialect or industrial dialect, they become the part of English language. Further, we have to use that, even that we have to mention the Chaucer. Chaucer is the first father of English poetry and first poet of English writing. He write down that. And the Chaucer have to also write down here. I have to mention the one of his tale. There was you study that. What we study the Chaucer, dear friend? Yes, the Nice Tale. And now in the syllabus, new syllabus, there was the Partner's Tale. And here he was the Reverse Tale. There was one of the Chaucer tale. The Reeves Reeves Tale. There was a Reeves REE. There was a Reeves Tale. And there was in this tale he can use the most of the dialect of his time. He belonged to the 40th century because Chaucer from 1314 to 1400, and this time those are the dialects he can say spoken by the people during the time, and this dialect used by Chaucer in his time. Here we can say that further we can mention today English is a large number of today modern English is a large number of regional and social dialogue. And today we find out in English, these are the, we have to find out the regional and region. We belong to the Gujarat region, the Pradesh. They become the regional and social dialect. Each region marked a peculiarity. Each region has their own peculiarity. Unity in diversity. Vividtama Ekta. There was a slogan of India's. There was, we have to find out if someone put in the Kerala or the south part of India, there were different type of dresses, different type of language, different type of foods. Everything was totally different from Gujarat. Other side, you go to the Kashmir, it's quite different from us. You can say dresses, language, spoken culture, everything was quite different from the here. Today, English language is a part of the regional and social. You can say regional and social dialect with a marked peculiarity. Each has a particular kind of peculiarity. The difference among the one sometimes so great that speaker of the one find it difficult to understand the other. Here I have to get it. Sometimes the Hindi spoken by the, we can say that those are the Punjabis, and sometimes the Hindi spoken by the Biharis, original, we can say Khadi Hindi. It was sometimes difficult to us. Because sometimes I have to come to contact with that, or sometimes I have to, whenever I have lived in some of the UP or Bihari people, they sometimes the sabji dalia khawa the babu hai that there was, I have to some in the beginning of stage I have to feel difficulty. What they have to speak there? They have to speak that our own language. And we speak that क्या करते हो आप? क्या आप दाल चावल खाओगे सर? तो ऐसे they have to there. It was each language has a marked peculiarity, and this marked peculiarity is sometimes it's difficult to understand the speaker. Even sorry, don't mind that, but even today I have to complete the 13 years in the Dhanera in this college. Even that some of the words, those are my colleagues in my